host, Reverend Dr. Rodney Coles. We're here bringing resource to our community, information to the county, so those who know all the resources available to you. Today we have two great guesses. Both of them been here before, but we're going to move on and what they have to share with us today. First, I am going to call on a good friend, my brother, I will say my mentor as well, Richard from the Council on Aging. And as we talk about mentors, there's mentors in my life like Reverend Bob Hudak, and Rich, and there's a few others, Clock Style. Those folks there in your life that you need to talk to, and sometimes they know what's going on with you, and they call you just to talk to you, make sure you're all right. And that's very important to have in your life, and that's one of the key things of crossing the bridge and working with the mentor program. But today we're going to talk about Rich and the things he's doing. Rich, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure. I love being here and just sharing what God is doing at our agency, what our agency is doing in the community, and just I just like being here.
Yeah. Well, Rich, we just recently seen something with the state troopers at my pastor, good friend, brother Greg over there, the Great Harvest Spread, which I don't need any more of that over here, but it's good. Explain to what's taking place there, because I know as we are working with our seniors, there's a lot happening. They can only give a part of the story, what's going on with our seniors. So could you just share as the executive director of the Council on Aging?
So one of the things is sometimes I think we get a little complacent when we come against a wall. We just figure we can't solve things. And I want our community to get a little angry with what we have not been able to do. There are mountains out there that laugh at us. There are closed doors that scream to us, you can't get through. And Greg came in one day, and so we feed 300 people every day, and we have about 200 people on the waiting list. Because of resources, where they live, the chances are we may not be able to get to them. So Greg came by and said, hey, I want to do this. I've got a dream. I'm thinking, I'm doing. And so he and I, and through all his efforts, and it's all God, raised $40,000 so that we could focus on providing food for the people on our waiting list who we cannot serve. So there's an obstacle that we can't do it, but we can, because we can do all things. Right. It's just we have to remove the mental barriers in our head and say, how can we do this? And Greg, I mean, it was just, again, there are no coincidences or luck. He came to the Council on Aging one day to deliver bread and got to talking and hearing and knowing what we are, and we connected. And you talk about blessings. I mean, that was not a trickle. That was a bucket that just poured over our heads, and it's been great. And so yesterday we delivered about 135 meals.
Wow.
To people who have been on our waiting list, and some of them have been on the waiting list for a year and a half. They're hungry. This virus has locked them down, and we gave them a bag of groceries for a week, and it was good stuff. I mean, it was no off the wall. I mean, this was good stuff, and Greg and his team worked so hard to make this thing happen, and the state troopers came, and new volunteers who never delivered before came and delivered. So we're just exposing to the community and saying, when we come together, we can do all things, but you got to believe it. And I truly believe that there are mountains in Pitt County. I believe there are closed doors in Pitt County, and I'm going to kick them down, and I'm going to break those mountains down, but we ain't doing it by ourselves. We're doing it as a community. So today's an opportunity to just come and share a little bit about what we're doing, how we're trying to solve problems instead of complaining about problems.
Well, Rich, I also want to say, by knowing you for a couple of years now, knowing your heart and the things you're doing, and seeing this, working with the seniors, I didn't realize that seniors had a need of food and resource until a storm came through called Katrina, and we was here, my wife and I, and we was, doing food, and we had another senior citizen. One is Mrs. and Mr. Gardner, and they're a member of Pastor Watson Church, and co-pastor church there. But I realized there was a senior, and that's one of of the things that Deborah and I, that's my wife, we decided, well, we need to focus on the seniors. And we started doing 232 boxes, started growing and growing. And Reverend Bob Hudak, we had a vehicle called, it was a 1985, the window didn't go down. It was yellow. Some people call it a school bus. It was a wagon. Her name was Mary, and Reverend Bob Hudak had came and delivered. And I think, I had to deliver all. He only came for a few. He had no air conditioning even. But it was showing that we know that the seniors had a need. And I will say, on your leading road on here, what you've been doing is really touching the seniors. I would believe that seniors have made a way for us to be here. They have paid the price. We owe them, so we got to make sure we helping them and giving back to them. And because they already they didn't done their part as us part. So I just want to commend you, but I also want to commend Greg, because Greg just have a great heart, and seeing the state troopers that we all come together. It takes the community, as you said, to come together and to work together. Doing this whole Pandora that's happening in our community, one of the things, my wife, we did it anyhow, but we just do a little bit more often, is one of the things we do is we make sure we support these restaurants. So I'm speaking to the community. We got to make sure we support these restaurants that's out here. My wife, we go out there, we are buying food, and that's what we're buying, because the restaurants need to keep their business open, and we need to help them. And it's really take the community, Rich, to work with it. My wife also, she pay her beauty salon to do her hair. See, I just use a razor blade, and I'm done. And to continue helping, and we got to look at that. And you hear the key thing: it's about giving, it's about helping, it's about coming together. Because Pitt County is us. We gotta listen. This is our yard. And we have to take care of our yard. I can't worry about somebody else's yard, but worry about Pitt County. And to folks understand that the Council and Agents, singers, the things you're doing and helping with that, people also remember, they say, well, singers, they also say, we still need donations. We still need, listen, and I'm not trying to make any kind of crack a joke or anything, but, everybody say that, well, they don't need money. We all need money. Even Jesus had money. When, Judah carried the money, and money's not everything, but it sure go up there with oxygen. So we need to be able to breathe and live. So it's those that say, well, can't they make a donation to the Council and Agent? Is there a way that they can make a donation because they can't get out? Could you help us how we can make a donation? If those, as they listen, because they're seniors, you're touching seniors who's not on the list. That's love. Love is showing it. Love is something it's not something you say, it's something you do. And that's love when you're able to do it. Is there a way that they can make that donations to help to keep this? Because he raised $40,000. We need more $40,000 to raise to be able to help that. There's any way they can make a donation, and if there's a way, could you please share it with us?
Sure, and I think as stewards, and we have to remember we're all servants, we're all stewards. None of this is ours anyway. Mm-hmm. So the more we hoard and keep to ourselves is more against what we're supposed to do. And a lot of people will tell me, I wish I could, but I don't have the resources. And I think what happens is a lot of people always say, well, just give of your heart. I don't want to give you an amount. Well, we're human, and we think of an amount. We may think, well, I don't have $100 to give. I don't have the amount really is irrelevant. Mm-hmm. If it were $5, so people say, well, give me a number. All right, here's a number, $5. If 100 people gave $5, that would be $500. So it's not a matter of, oh, this is $5, this doesn't mean anything. $5 will feed a senior for a day. So you can go to Facebook, you can go to our website, you can stop in, you can mail it. There's lots of ways to donate. But the real issue here is stop thinking and do. So there's that famous philosopher, Yoda, who said, just do. You got to make an effort. So $5 will make a difference. And that's what we're looking at, helping one another, and particularly seniors. You mentioned about seniors, and I think people forget about seniors. Mm-hmm. They do comprise of a large portion of our population. And whether you are a senior today listening or watching, you're going to be one. And you mm-hmm. don't know 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now if you're going to need us. And many of the people today never thought they would need us. So here's an investment in your future by helping us today.
And where can they make is there a website address?
Sure, it's Pitt, PITTCOA.com, or go to Facebook, which is Pitt County Senior Center. And you can find all the latest and greatest up-to-date events, just like about the fabulous event that's coming up with our next guest.
I like that. As you have heard, we all need help in these areas. As Rich mentioned, and you have heard me say it many times, we got to be able to come together. It's really us, the people in the community. And who's the people in the community is us. The word unity is in the word community. We are unity. And I'm so glad to know that there's others out there. If you're looking at this broadcast, it's not the amount you put in. So like you said, they may think that, hey, I got to give $100 or $200 or $50. If you gave $5, whatever you gave, that's something to start it off at. And I always believe that just trust yourself to say, hey, I want to give this here to be a blessing. I also we have our second gift coming on in a few minutes. I want you to take a look at this clip here, and when this clip come on, and we're going to jump right into this clip here as about to show.
United Way has designated May 5th as Giving Tuesday with Project Community, a day of giving. This global day of generosity encourages communities to unite and help their neighbors during the COVID-19 crisis. It's also a chance to thank our frontline workers. We encourage you to make signs and put them out in the community, thanking them. Take a picture with your sign and post it with the hashtag Giving Tuesday Now, and you could be featured on WITN.com as well as United Way online. WITN and the Pitt County Council on Aging is hosting a drop-off for needed items on Tuesday, May 5th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Things like baby wipes, bars of soap, body wash, cleansing wipes, laundry detergent, dental floss, toilet paper, toothbrushes, toothpaste, and non-perishable food items. You can also donate online at uwpcnc.org or by texting the keyword #PittStrong to 313131. Join with us as we support each other on Giving Tuesday Now.
As you just finished seeing that clip there, we have Miss Sue. She is with United Way. I want to say that United Way is bringing this community together, and it's been a long time for that taking place. So I'm really pleased with what the United Way is doing, having a conference call twice a week now, down once a week, bringing people together and moving such a way that this community needs our United Way, and we need to be sure that we are supporting a United Way. They have the heart of continue moving. They've been around for years, and as Pitt County United Way moving to a new area, new guards, new people, new leadership, we need to be able to support that. As you've seen the clip on May 5th, we have Miss Sue, and Miss Sue just have a heart. And life is easy when you got people that love God, and follow in that direction. Make it a lot more easier, as we're moving, because you understand what they're going through because you're going through it, and we be able to work together. Miss Sue, we want to welcome you to the guest on this show here. Please explain to the community what's happening May 5th.
On May 5th, it's a Global Day of Generosity, and it's based on the traditional Giving Tuesday that traditionally happens after Thanksgiving. Because of COVID and how it's impacting everyone globally, and we just heard from Rich about our seniors in particular, this was brought forward, and it is a global way to give back and serve your community on that day. Hashtag Giving Tuesday Now is what it's called.
And it's so important to know that we have two locations to be given to that. WITN News is a sponsor, as well as Council on Aging. Thank you, Rich. Is a sponsor where they can drop off items there. Could you want to explain some of the things they can drop off?
Sure. Actually, we have a lot going on that day. It's, as we said, a global day of generosity. So you yourself, as Rich mentioned, how do you want to give back? How do you want to serve your community? So one way, of course, is to drop off donated items. We are collecting items for the food bank, food pantries, the shelters, Churches Outreach Network, who's building hygiene kits and cleaning buckets. So little did you know that, tuna fish could give someone hope, because then they're going to have a full belly, right? Or someone who's not feeling well can actually clean and disinfect their home, right? So something as simple as this and a lot more items. And I brought a lot of suggestions here. You know, our children who are now home, they need cheese and crackers or peanut butter and crackers, right? So it's these kinds of things that we're looking for of donated items. Plus, the shelters are looking for blankets and pillows and sheets, all new. Please do not bring anything used. We do not have laundry facilities to deal with all that. So new items. But so we're collecting these items in 2 locations from 9 to 5 at WITN, who is our media partner. Thank you so much, WITN. And at Council of Aging in their parking lots. Contact lists, we'll have some volunteers there. You know, social distancing, the whole works. But our food pantries need us. Our shelters and the people who are there need us. So this is our opportunity to step up and actually donate items that can be used. There's also a way for you to donate and give financially. And you can go to the United Way's website at uwpcnc.org, and you'll see the whole COVID-19 there. Just click the links and follow along, and you'll see ways to donate.
Wow. And you know, I saw that tuna fish. I got a little hungry. I saw the cracker went around with it.
And I heard today there's a shortage of tomatoes.
Wow.
Right? Who'd have thunk?
And one of the things I want to share, the new leader as United Way is moving to this direction have been a door opener for me, and seeing how they're coming together. Like right now, even though we're here, they're having conference calls, and they build what they're building. And knowing that First Giving Tuesday, which is May 5th, we are looking for needing the help from our community. We need items, but we also need finance support, because some things that we be able to get immediately. United Way have really stepped up to the plate on this here. They was with us with disaster recovery, and we still have a long-term recovery group here, and we just had a meeting briefly this week. But the United Way, we got to make sure that people understand the United Way, what they're doing and how they're bringing this all together, and it's so important. And we need to be able to help the food bank and help all these other organizations. And those calls that have been going on, Ms. Sue, I had to tell you, it's been really, I hate to miss them because it's so much information. I got pastors involved who's never been involved before. Corn and Neil always been helping, and man, they're doing a fantastic job. And you want to share just a little bit so they can understand, because they can't travel through my brain cells to know what I'm talking about. I just think that I'm making it all up. Could you explain to them what we're doing at United Way?
Sure. Well, United Way's been in this community for over 60 years, and it was started by the Community Chest. And the purpose of it is to address emerging community needs and issues, to find those partners in the community to make sure that people have the best chance at being happy, successful, having food on their table, financial stability. We partner with agencies like Council on Aging, who's one of our member agencies, and the funds that we raise throughout the year go to partner agencies like COA, the shelter, educational programs, Strive. So our role with COVID, and this is where United Way really steps up, is our role is to bring together those partners and have those conversations, identify what are the issues. So with COVID, we brought together a group of county, city officials, and a plethora of others to talk about, all right, what are you hearing, what are you seeing? Sharing information. That's the biggest piece right there. Share all the information, everyone's on the same page. As things progressed, we realized food's a problem. So then we formed another food task force, and we have like Rich and the food banks and pantries and other groups at that meeting, again, to share information, who has the need, what are you seeing, trying to forecast as well, because right now we want to make sure our basic needs are met for everybody. Next is recovery. After that, we got to rebuild. So funds that we procure now and moving forward helps with all these phases. Right now, make sure basic needs are being met. Next step, recovery, as we get people back to work in a safe manner so that we do not infect others. And then rebuilding. There's going to take time to rebuild our community with so many people who have been out of work and impacted greatly. So that's what United Way is all about. We're the backbone. We're the collaborative impact group that brings together the right people to have those conversations. And then we can bring in our corporate partners and ask our corporate partners, look, we need your help to do this because it impacts your workforce as well. So it's United Way is that ringleader. We're the ringleader, right?
I like
Is that a good analogy?
I like that. We need to put a slogan with
Ringleader.
that. Ringleader.
Ringleader. And we're bringing people together to have the conversations, to share resources, identify the needs, and let's move forward and tackle this. You know, we are a community that's strong. We are Pitt strong, right? Pitt strong, resilient, generous, caring people. It's time to be creative.
And it's so, you know, you hit a lot of key points. It's really by United Way being the lead and being around so long and have so much experience on making that happen. The two things you mentioned, I'm going to come to that. One was the recovery, then the rebuilding. See, this is something that I haven't lived through. I mean, I lived through 9/11 in New York City. We lived through some of the hurricanes but this is something that's happening worldwide. So Pitt County had to help Pitt County. It's even I can't get help from other counties that we did when we had a hurricane here in Matthews that helped us. They wasn't affected. Right now, every man on his own. So Pitt County is coming together, and the United Way is being that ring to bringing us together and having these meetings and conversating with the city and the county and everyone. And it's so good because all of us is on the same page. You know, so this is not, you know, we can say, well, once we do this is going to be, oh no, we got work on our hand. We have a lot of work.
It's all of us that have to come together as a community in order to do this. It's not one person, not one organization, not one agency. It's everybody. We all have a stake in building our community, rebuilding it.
That's going to be time.
Yeah.
That's going to be time. We still dealing with 1999 Florence they had here. You imagine what we're going through now.
I know.
You know, where rebuilding and even us getting cleaning kits to come down. This is a long, masks, people still got to be able to wear the masks. This is a long, and we just need to support United Way, what they're doing. So as Ms. Sue has mentioned, you know, May 5th, Tuesday, please help us help our community. We need the help from our community to help here, the things we need to get done here. And to make those contributions to United Way, to make the donation to Council on Aging. All of us need help. I mean, if you say if you got 10, 5 here, 5 there, but we want to be sure that we want to be able to help in this area. If you can make the donations of cleaning supplies, whatever you have, hygiene stuff. If you got new blankets, please. We need new blankets. As a Toys for Tot coordinator, I couldn't even take used toys. New. Give somebody something new. If you have it, pick it up. You can order from Amazon. They still deliver, you know. And so the thing is, please help us. Help our community by giving, finance, by helping with the contact United Way and understand what they're doing. Contact Richard at Council on Aging. Send that donation. We need help on this here. This is just the beginning. If I were to say, if I had hair, I'd be turning gray. But this is going to be a long process, and we need the help from the community. Again, I want to thank Sue, and I want to thank Rich. Rich, any other comment you want to make? Because we want to show this last part of this commercial, this spot, May 5th. Please, we need to support. Any last comment, Rich, you would like to add?
Quick comment. If you're sitting there watching this today, let me tell you, it is about you. It's not about somebody else is going to do this, or it's you. So today, be a person, a man, a woman, a child of action today, and be the disciple you were meant to be.
And Ms. Sue, any last comment?
No, get up. Do something. It's a day of action. Be generous to your community. We need you. We need your help. It's going to take all of us.
Again, you have heard it. We're here together. I wear many hats myself, but my main course is community. What are we doing to help the community? Take these words, you can market these words, you can put it on a logo or put it on a shirt. Service is the rent you pay for the space you take up on earth. We are here to serve, not to be served, but to serve. And when we're in the position that we're in now, to help others who already served, and that's our senior citizens. Please look at this last clip, and please help May 5th. We need the community support. God bless, and thank you for watching the broadcast.
United Way has designated May 5th as Giving Tuesday with Project Community, a day of giving. This global day of generosity encourages communities to unite and help their neighbors during the COVID-19 crisis. It's also a chance to thank our frontline workers. We encourage you to make signs and put them out in the community, thanking them. Take a picture with your sign and post it with the hashtag Giving Tuesday Now, and you could be featured on WITN.com as well as United Way Online. WITN and the Pitt County Council on Aging is hosting a drop-off for needed items on Tuesday, May 5th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Things like baby wipes, bars of soap, body wash, cleansing wipes, laundry detergent, dental floss, toilet paper, toothbrushes, toothpaste, and non-perishable food items. You can also donate online at uwpcnc.org or by texting the keyword #PittStrong to 313131. Join with us as we support each other on Giving Tuesday Now.